One more series to close out the week. That is going to be Splyce versus Luminosity Gaming. Both of these rosters have seen changes after Anaheim, and both of these rosters are looking relatively strong this week. But one of them has to lose. So I want to focus on Splyce first. Of course, Splyce has added Hook, and you have that kind of Hook temp duo. Everyone's looking really, really good, Nameless. Tell me how you feel about this team going into this matchup against LG.
I feel really good about both these teams. I think this one will kind of tell who won Roster Mania, right? Like, this will answer a lot of questions. And, you know, Splyce going up against Luminosity, I hope we see some frequency because both these teams have been looking incredible on there, right? So I believe that that's going to be first map, and that's going to be a slugfest for sure.
That is true. And again, you look at Hook, see his stats. I mean, performing so well with this team. I mean, again, trying to get over, getting over some small bumps, if you will, but seeming to settle in Pac-Man fairly well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic player, just needs to work on his little issues that he had bringing from NB. Just the whole trying to do too much on the map at once, trying to do it all for his team. Instead, just focus on what you have to do and do your role, because you have good teammates now who will do their part to help your team win. Just do your role, and you do your role well like you can, and his team will be fine.
One player for me on the side of Splyce who's just been playing tremendous ever since his role switch has been Aqua. He's just been really consistent throughout the entire week. Yesterday in his series, he had a 1.28 right next to Hook with a 1.69, with no one else over a 1.0. And that's something that was lacking before, at least with Aqua, was just consistency. You could tell with this ICR role, with this main ICR, he's a lot more confident with everything that he does. And this is his original role. I'm happy to see that he's performing the way he should.
Now, on the side of Luminosity, while Splyce does have Hook, LG has Brack and Skies. And it seems like, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, Nameless, but it seems like between these two teams, LG has more problems they're trying to iron out as a whole team than Splyce, but still looking really strong.
Yeah, they're both looking really strong. They're just all trying to improve across the board right now. Luminosity, I mean, yesterday in that match versus 100 Thieves, they looked great, right? Yep. Like, it didn't start off as great as you thought it would, but, you know, overall, this team has been fantastic. Formal has been a beast. Yeah. Right? People are talking about Brack and Skies, but I think Formal's been the best. We were talking about this in the back.
I think Formal's been their best player this week for sure.
Is that in part due to the addition, though?
Yeah, I mean, he's putting up so much damage on every map. He's taking the back seat. Like, he's flying out and baiting for these guys.
It's also what Nameless used to talk about all the time. Now he's running a Maddox like almost 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Why would you not let this guy, who's a super talented player, run around the Maddox? That's why his damage is just so high. He's going out and baiting for these guys and putting in the damage. He's been playing fantastic Call of Duty this week.
There have been a couple standout players on the LG roster. I do want to go back and talk about Brack because we need to show you these stats. Not bad. Hey. Not bad.
What? You can only do that by super mega baiting your teammates, but seriously.
I mean, it's facts. It's just facts.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a mini asterisk on it, but he's still a beast.
That's why Brack had, when he was on Denial, had that X Factor stat that was the highest, where if he didn't go positive, his team was losing like every single map, and then when he did well, his team would win. It's because of his play style. So right now, he's obviously playing well. So if he's doing that with those stats while baiting, it's fine. The problem is, like in that first map yesterday against 100 Thieves, they shut him down, and then LG just looked horrendous because it wasn't working with him doing that.
Yeah, it's important for us to like convey that message to you guys, so you're like, wow, how's this guy's the best player in the world? Like, you need to realize like he is playing slow, and people are running in front of him, and that's the only way you can put up stats like that.
Then
Unless you're Sim.
Well, and Simp is a whole different beast. But if you're LG, then are you worried that that's kind of your only, I don't know how to say it, like your only plan is him getting baited and him putting up these stats, as opposed to, like, you said 100T shut him down, right? With that plan.
This is definitely the start to this team. Yeah. It's just like,
it'll evolve.
Yeah, because the guy, they know what kind of role they were bringing in when they brought in.
They want him to do that.
He wanted to be able to just pick up kills and do what he do, because you have Slacked and John who are just going to be baiting consistently. As the team goes forward, they're definitely going to be able to just adapt on their play styles or just develop new strategies, because there's no way he's going to be consistently being able to do that with a 1.6 against the best teams in the world. He's going to need to be able to put himself in different situations to where he can figure out how to play it.
Well, I guess the hope for Luminosity is that, like, he's doing that and he's great at it.
Yeah.
But eventually, John and Slack will individually get better as well, and they'll be getting more kills. And that's kind of the hope in the long-term play for, you know, playoffs and champs, is that these guys turn into beasts, and then Brack won't have to do so much, and Forma won't have to drop 35, and Skies won't have to go off as well, and then it'll just be a well-rounded team effort. Right now, I think they're playing fine. They're okay. But to win an event, they're going to have to go above and beyond. So that's what will take this team over the edge, is if John and Slack start to step up and play on that level of Simp and Abizi, players like that.
And they do have 2 more events to do that at. Of course, we want to remind you, CWL Miami is coming up very quickly. You can see there July 19th to the 21st. We all can't wait to get down there again. So many of these teams putting up more of a fight against the likes of 100 Thieves and those top echelon teams. So that's going to be something Pac-Man I'm really excited to see, is now that more of the teams are stepping up, that competition getting even.
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 of the teams right now. LG and Splyce are 2 teams that can and I think will contend with 100 Thieves when it comes down to it. And then there's 2 or 3 more in the other division with Optic, United, depending on the day they decide to show up, and Genji. There's a lot of good top-level competition right now in the league. Miami's going to be super exciting.
We're going to see 2 of those teams go at it right now, Splyce and LG with Merc and Maven.
Thank you. Everything leading up to Miami. We are so close, and I know for us this has been the match we've really been excited to see. Really just seeing where LG is, because they're going to have to play in that play-in bracket. Splyce, wanting to make sure they're still in that top 4 position. But I don't know. We haven't casted LG yet. I was actually pissed when I saw the schedule. It was the one thing that irritated me. It's like, damn, I really want to cast this team. I want to see what's going on. I know. We finally got to it on Thursday. Because this was the one, I mean, when we came out of the roster move, I was like, holy hell, I want to see this team play.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, these are the 2 teams when you talk about the top dogs that were just missing in Anaheim, right? They were the 2 teams that were going through roster issues. Coaches were playing with them. Substitutes were playing with them. They take that roster period. They get some big guns added to their roster, and yeah, I think we both know they can be very scary, and it's going to be fun to watch them develop for Miami.
Well, it's tough to take much out of maybe their first couple of matches when you talk LG, but what did you think overall after you saw them yesterday against 100 Thieves?
I was surprised that, I mean, I thought one place they would struggle with Search and Destroy, and I think they showed some positive signs.
Better than you thought.
Yeah, I mean, listen, depending on how their Search and Destroy is to me how successful this team's going to be, because I think when you look at Brack, Formal, Skies, I think you'll win a respawn or 2 no matter what. I think they have enough talent where they should at least win a respawn in a series. And if they can win that game 2, they can extend to that game 5 versus those top teams.
You saw the 2 hard points for this particular match.
I didn't. I was looking at you.
Sorry. It's Frequency and Hacienda. It's going to be the 2. And those are 2 of the top 3 maps you wanted to see for Splyce, right? When this team formed, you're like, give me the Seaside, Frequency, Hacienda. This is where they're going to smoke people. Do you think that plays to the favor, though, kind of LG, too? It seems like it'd be strong maps for them.
I think both teams are happy with the maps that we got this series. You're gonna have a lot of gunfights, and yeah, I mean, we talked about Splyce and their aggression. I think it's very similar with Luminosity. I think the one place where you have an advantage if you are Splyce, though, is the Sogs, right? I mean, just the way John and Slack have been performing, and I know it's been in a tough spot, and they haven't been, I don't know, the best all year, but who knows? They can continue to develop, as the Des was saying, and I think they're just happier with the team they have.
Well, good enough they got an event win, which can only be said for 3 teams this year. So good enough in some regard. But yeah, it's been a struggle city, at least since that event win. Now, trying to reform this LG roster with the young guys, Brack and Skies. Brack has been statistically ridiculous, but you heard the guys in the desk, and they've been most impressed with Formal so far with this team, just putting out damage with the Maddox.
Well, that was the thing. When this sort of Maddox duo formed, Brack plays at a slower style, right? You heard the desk sort of say, like, you can't get those stats without, like, baiting a little bit, which is totally okay if you're getting the kills. Like, yeah, we'll bait for you, but how does that happen when you play with another superstar? And, I mean, they've been meshing pretty well so far.
The surprise maybe how well let's mesh this quickly. That's 5 down for Splyce as LG roll through them. Slack gets 2 of the 5. They get into elevator. Now Formal's POV top window as he's trying to lock down the mid-cut, make sure they can't get aggression.
Just how quick they got to orange base. I mean, there was no spawns at orange for Splyce. They spawned at pipe side. Formal just flew through. The kills came in so fast they were able to influence the spawns, and now they flipped them. So not only do you win the break, you also have an opportunity to combine onto that second hill. But Splyce starting to contest a little bit. Jerd gonna have a few players to deal with, but everybody's staying alive. Jerd doing a wonderful job. Buys enough time for Looney, and the rest of Splyce getting this hill.
So you'll get a couple seconds at least if you're a Splyce, but
they just fly.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. That is just the perfect opening from Luminosity. You get 20 points on the board. You flip the spawn as quickly as you possibly can, but since several drop at elevator at the final moments of it. Maybe not as clean as they'd like here, but there, the messiness gets cleaned up. John gets 2. Formal now playing from elevator will drop, but it's a deep spawn for Splyce as they now start to rally across the map. John dealing with orange lobby. He's got the crossfire there with Slack. Slack able to get the raid. That works out. If you have your SOG duos there, one falls, the other picks up 2. You're able to get the hold.
Slack able to find another kill. I felt like the push from Splyce was a little staggered. The attempt going around. A couple of players hitting the front, but as I say that, 3 do go down for Luminosity, but Slack continues on a 4 spree. Started off 8 and 2 for him. Skies with the ICR. Able to find 1, and now LG just trying to get across the map. They're trying to flip the spawns, and Brack able to snap on the Looney. It feels like their guns are a little bit hotter right now.
It just seems like there's always one more player. Like, Splyce get a couple, I'm like, all right, this will be the break. There's always just one more that searches and locates for the multi-kill to make sure the full break doesn't come in. Now, you're already into balcony. You've already got into the hard point if you're LG. You've got 2 players here.
He just
one hit into the back steps. That could not have been easier. Splyce trying to find some semblance of a hold now, but you still got Skies in the back. This has not been comfortable for Splyce in the early going, but for now they've got the hard point.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna have it for much longer. Brachio's in the window again. That's 4 dead. An easy break for LG. The players on Splyce struggling right now. You have Temp at 3 and 8, Hook at 4 and 9. That duo we've hyped up so much. So happy to see them together on a roster. Having a very slow start. Then it just feels like when you look at the kill feed, it is that light blue Luminosity smoking them. This is what we expect with an LG. Like, they have this slaying power, and you're starting to see it right now.
Yeah, 3 players sitting at double positive. We're 3 hard points in. Splyce averaging 6 points a hard point, right in that realm. They have been smoked, and now Luminosity a chance to chain blue to pipes. 3 fall for Splyce. Slack and Formal hunting one of the final members. They're able to get that. Now it's the back elbow spawn in as Jerd drops. This is a dominant effort.
Can LG get some streaks? Sky's on a 5 spree right now.
He only has like 5 bullets left. That was the problem. He's at 6 bullets.
It's fine. I'll find a weapon.
There we go.
He's a SOG now.
SOG main Skies. Looking for streaks.
Able to put some bullets in. Also finds a trophy. So now 200. Just gotta put a couple of shots in. Try to play your life, but can't get the prone in. Aqua with a big kill on the Skies, but it's Brack who actually finds some streaks. 15 and 5. 3.0 start for Brack. 130-point lead for Luminosity.
This is just abysmal from Splyce. They are getting annihilated. Brack swings it all the way out to try and wrap it back in towards elevator. Yeah, he didn't quite get the angle he wanted. Needed to get that a little bit deeper, just couldn't tuck it in. Might have gone a little bit too wide. But now you've got War Machine in. Formal 1 team kill. But it looks like they've done enough damage to at least hold for now. Temp gonna be the last man to push on through. His cluster grenade does make the play. Hook's gonna get 3. Looney combined to the effort as well. 4 down for LG. And Splyce, finally, there's a hard point up and they're inside of it.
Yeah, but they have to deal with this push that's gonna be all these specialists, right? I mean, you have such a big lead if you're LG where you have the specialist advantage. The chains are there. Skies is able to connect, but they hold on. So you deal with the War Machine. You deal with the Tempest so far. You have the you're starting to rotate on over. You have a couple of players over here from Luminosity. We'll see if Brack and Formal can lock it down in the back. You just have 2 left. Temp and Aqua trying to win this fight, but LG are here. The reinforcements are here. Now both teams is fighting for the spawns.
Slack goes big to at least get 2. Formal then off a spawn. Shuts down 2 remaining players. Jerd the final to fall. That's going to be 5 players now down for Splyce and LG in with 50 seconds remaining. Brack still at old, just lining them up. Now out to 19 and 9. 2 more in front. Makes quick and easy work of that. The hip fire lines up true. It finally takes Looney to shut him down, but great crossfire there between John and Brack across mid-map to keep the rhythm, keep the momentum going for Luminosity. I kept thinking at some moment, Splyce is going to make a run. Like, they're going to make some sort of run. They're going to get some sort of effort in. Luminosity have not let them breathe. They've choked them out for the early going. They're soaring at them with confidence. Splyce just getting fried.
And maybe the solid duo of Slat and John are sick of this conversation that we keep having, as a community keeps having, putting on a show right here. 17 and 10 from Slat. We saw him find 4 kills, using the grab slam. John as well having a much better performance. Lightning strike called in. LG able to fight their way towards the back.
That's just a great play behind the grapple. Slack makes the play, Skies hits the shots, and they get into the back. I mean, this is a map that is difficult to get like chain together a lot of clean rotations, and LG has done it so easily.
I mean, they can end it here.
This is one of the more lopsided frequencies.
I mean, look at this right now. Temp doesn't even have his first War Machine. Jurge just got his first Tempest. Hook's not even to his grab slam.
Does Temp know the match has started?
Whew. You have the Purifier out already from Brack. What is he right now? 25 and 13. Performance continues.
Now Temp gets his War Machine. He gets dropped. So I think you call in your Tempest, your War Machine, they both get killed nearly instantly and come up with just about nothing. Formal trying to do what he can over towards Pipes. He was the lone man, though. Now the rest of LG starting to come in. You're only going to need 6 more points, 1 more break, and this map 1 is put to bed. And I'll tell you what, the final topic on trading shots was who won, who came out on top in Roster Mania. Pac-Man argued Splyce. I argued LG.
Yeah,
It's 244 to 66, Joe.
It's also
And
map
you gave
1.
more points to Pac-Man. Are you rethinking that right now, Joe?
No, because it's map 1. It's also map 1.
It is.
We'll see what happens.
Splyce with probably their most successful hardpoint of the game. Nice grab slam there from Hook. As they finally get a solid hold, as Luminosity seemingly has taken the foot off the pedal, as this game has been done for quite some time.
Looney was getting close to some streaks, but he gets shut down. But yeah, they're just trying to win this rotation.
He'd need about 20 of them, Joe.
Maybe one of those gunships.
I don't even know if that can save them.
Maybe 3 of them.
And he's controlling all of them.
Yeah.
LG, the map 1 victory. Wow. Did they blow out Splyce? Aqua letting Temp know maybe something he didn't like over the course of that game 1. I think there are probably a lot of moments you could pick at your Splyce. We'll just kind of watch the final 60 or so seconds, which will probably include Splyce making a late surge. Not much of a run considering the circumstances of this first map, but what did you love from LG?
I mean, I love Slat and John. I mean, I feel like they just really took it to them. They were the lead guys. It just felt like every single time, you're like, there's always one more player, right? But in the kill feed, a lot of those times it was Slat and John finding multiple kills, stopping the push of Splyce. And I mean, heck, if you're able to shut down Splyce, Hook and Temp at this moment are -17. I'll tell you what, if those two are -17, Splyce probably isn't winning, right?
No,
I mean,
no way.
No way. So, yeah, mission accomplished.
That's one way to get it done, to shut down the 2 superstars, mega stars on Splyce. I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I thought that was possible for them both to get thwarted and
You're gonna
thrashed
have
like
bad
that.
maps, but now you gotta bounce back.
Formal, a big game 1, the team takes it. Jess talked to Matt before this game 1.
Thank you, Clint. That's right. And he said that things are going much better than they were before. He acknowledges there's still some work to do, but says he's confident that all those little bumps are going to get ironed out before they get to Miami. And speaking of this series versus Splyce, I asked him what he's expecting, and he said that it's going to be error-filled on both sides. Now, on the side of Splyce, I talked to Temp, and I saw a rare form of Temp that we normally don't see. He didn't have all of his Temp swagger. Asked him how things are going, and he said, I am not happy. When I asked him why, he said, we've just got to get better in every single aspect. So that's all I've got. Clint and Joe, back over to you.
It's interesting to hear that. That makes me wonder if you guys don't know, typically we have 4 teams that are here at the early day. The ones that are playing later are usually scrimming in the back. Like they'll play the opposite opponent kind of in the time slots. So I'm guessing scrims were going abysmally in the back. And that might be a part of the frustrations that led now into this game 1.
I mean, maybe. I just think it's one of those things where, like, we talked about it a little bit, and I think there's been some of these conversations. The fact of the matter is you have Hoot now in Splyce with this roster. Your expectations are high. Like, they want to win. They want to beat everybody. Like, this is who can temp on a championship. So I just feel like the fact of the matter is the pressure's there now. It is. They have the pressure.
So would you say that if LG 3-0 in this series that you'll revert the trading shots final and I'm the winner?
No, you're and because of
are
this
you
conversation,
sure about that, Joe?
You're gonna start off tomorrow with like -5.
I don't know, Joe. I think that should be worth considering.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, I got robbed.
We'll see what happens, pal.
I'm gonna start -2. You said?
Yeah, 5.
-5? Oh, that's a whole. I don't know if I can build. What's my competition? Who am I playing this week?
I think it's the original roster.
Oh, Pac-Man and Ben. I'm fine then. I'm fine. Ben's first out. I'll be good to go. I don't care. There's no amount of negative points that can stop me from getting into a grand final with that crew.
All right.
-10. Well, it was Aqua that we saw very vocal after the map won. It's Temp now talking things through. You can see Marky B nodding his head, listening intently as they try to speak through things. And yeah, I don't know if the frustration stemmed from the series loss yesterday or if it's to the match 2 scrims beforehand, but obviously very frustrated, very animated on the stage. And Marky's just like, all right, Temp, whatever you're yelling about, okay, all right, man, I hear you. Let's just focus on that, too.
Let's just he just nodded his head like, absolutely, boss. Whatever you say.
Oh, you want to drop somebody else?
No, I mean, it's just what it is now. I mean, it was the same thing with the Envy lineup when they formed in World War II, where, like, this has to turn into something. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, they want championships, but they have to be fighting, like, for top 3s at Miami and champs. I want to see, like, I want to see Hook on a Sunday on a main stage. Like, we haven't seen it yet. What?
Since what, like AW
champs?
Worlds?
No, World War II champs with Envy. But
yeah.
It was brief. It was brief. Like, I want to see this guy fighting for championships.
Someday, hopefully.
Well, that's what's so tough. It's like we talk about him being a superstar and so good, but it's like he hasn't shown it, like, where it actually matters.
So you'd say he's the Karl Malone or Charles Barkley then?
Well, I guess you can make that point.
Well, that is a quick round for LG. Aqua last up. They're going to opt to try to plant it and then peek it, but
like,
he gets 2. But
I thought he was just going to wallbait the player on the bomb. I was like, uh-oh.
Around to LG. Things decided quickly at fences. Formal got 2 of those kills. We'll now see it from his POV.
Well, they just lined up for him. Lindy and Temp, they get caught.
Oh, that looked easy.
Yeah, you'll take that any day.
Did it say, like, percentage-wise, like, how that collateral modifier changed?
I have no idea. No.
I know I've brought it up multiple times.
You loved that.
Well, when I read it, I was like, "That's kind of cool." Like,
when that update came out, that's all you.
Well, because I think in this game, because of healing, the amount of health you have, it is harder to have clutching crazy moments more than any other title. I guess I just kind of wondered if that's going to lead to some more crazy plays. Like,
I get it. You've been talking about.
I don't know why. I like it, Joe.
I know you do.
First couple of kills
it happens,
Splyce.
you pointed out to you, like, that's because of the change.
I know.
I wonder if that's because of the change.
I'm a student of the game.
That's not
just like Brack. That's just because of his incredibly high skill ceiling. Maddox shredding Splyce to bits and pieces. This is now a 2v1 for LG. Jared, last man up. 5v3 advantage for Splyce. Just dwindled. A distant memory torn apart at the seams.
Jared has an aid.
Makes it a 1v1. Makes it a 1v1, but Brack. Big Brack. There to get the kill. That's 4 in the round for him. That's a 3v5 for LG, and that just can't happen.
No, it cannot. You're going to see Splyce once again. Brack comes on a bit of a flank. The challenge is there from Temp. The challenge is there from Aqua. The trade has to be there.
And I don't think Temp hit him with a bullet. Like the first challenge.
He's on the bomb, but I
know he's got great cover, but if he hits him with one shot, I think Aqua got him to 14 HP. I just don't think Temp hit him. Like, you double challenge him there, you got to kill the guy. Good positioning, obviously, but you still feel like you should have dropped. Now Brack's 5-0, 150 off his streaks. LG moving up towards this side. Brack working to get this bomb planted so you can get even closer to streaks. And now 50 off. Temp. A little fish out in water. Still looking for his opening. Nice wallbang there from Skies. They don't have the angle to finish the kill. 2 are now going to drop. Brack's still up, though. Brack a chance to get streaks.
Yep.
He's on the bomb. Can he catch one of them?
Just trying to find the one he wants to go. Here we go. There will be the lightning, and he stays alive as well after the defuse. But a nice retake from Splyce. Yeah, you think if Skies can finish that kill on the Jared middle connector, maybe that can turn into something for Luminosity. But a much-needed round for Splyce. Gets them right back into the game.
Hook with the best play. Shutting down 2 top halls. Nice shots. Formal gets him down to 14, but can't take the one-on-one. All right, into round 4. See if Brack can get another streak. 5-man hit for Splyce. Last time they got 2 caught top halls by Formal. This time, all 5 hitting towards site. Cluster now out for Formal. They're just flying at him.
I think they're trying to bait the streak out. I think they're just trying to push past it, try to bait the streak out, and it might work. Well, the aggression might work. They might not bait the streak out, but they might find the round. Wow. Hook flies in. Smokes Formal again, able to win that gunfight. Forces a 3 versus 2. Slight now just trying to play his life. Able to do so.
They're hunting him.
Yeah, Bryce just watching connector, trying to wait for a rotator.
Brack just couldn't get away with his life. Now Slack with no dead silence. You heard him stomping around. This borders on impossible. He's just trying not to make any noise.
Just hopping around. Is it crap?
Yeah. I don't know how he would possibly clutch this.
Yeah, it looks like he might just be moving towards.
Well, I think he was just checking A, but realized now he's guessed wrong. It's so funny in these quiet moments just how loud those footsteps are. Slides out, challenges, Hook ready with the shot melee. Another round of Splyce.
3 for Hook. Big round for him. But what Splyce was doing, they know that Brack has streaks, right? So they go to that outer bomb site. They want him to ping it. It looked like it's a normal setup. And as soon as he calls that in, they just fly towards Luminosity, cause a little bit of chaos. And yeah, I mean, they caused a little bit of chaos, but Hook able to win those 2 gunfights.
And Formal's got to be frustrated. That's back-to-back one-on-ones. He hits him to 14 HP. Just the difference of a bullet. And that should be 5 in a row for Hook, so I imagine he's close to streaks. He's 175 off. Started 0-2. Now he's been making the plays, and a big part of why things tied up 2-2. LG going to get back towards that A site. Not working on the plant quite yet.
I haven't gotten bombed down yet, but that will turn into... That's where they can use the streak. Temp just trying to throw his cluster. Not going to see anything. They're actually going to use the lightning right away. Well, they're able to find Temp. Brack finds another kill on the Jerd. Still, though, a 3 versus 4. And, well, Brack continues. He's 9-1.
3 in the round for Brack. Bomb plant
and
for Brack.
The bomb.
He's doing it all right now. Can he get the ace? Looking for Aqua Hook. Formal some nice shots onto Aqua. Hook playing his life as he's 160 off. Got to be a frustrating round for him when you're trying to work for those streaks, not really given an opportunity to make any kind of play.
I mean, I was surprised by the streak usage, but able to find Temp. And then after that, Brack found 2 more kills. Well, Hoosh is hanging out, changing the oil of that car.
Oh, John ran right by. And he'll live. Brack, another monster round. He's what, 5 rounds played, 9 kills.
I was trying to read the screen.
What's the most impressive performance we had here? Wasn't it like Journey early in like the Pro League that he had like was it Journey that had like 18 or something? He dropped something absurd. I remember JP tweeted that it was something like most kills per round in the history of COD, basically. I still remember what the number was off the top of my head. But Brack's on pace for it right now.
He's already at 1,300 damage. That's almost 10 kills.
Yeah. Now they give Hook the bomb so he can try and get this plant and get close to streaks like we saw Brack do on the LG end of it. Defensively, everybody basically towards the A site for Luminosity.
MP's going to let them know that there's some presence here. Aqua, though, called out that a couple did cross towards this bomb site. Hook and Looney playing on an island right now. They would be able to plant. Just checking the corners. They're trying to play it safe, trying to secure these streaks for Hook.
As soon as they start to push up to get this, everybody is now going to be rotated from Luminosity.
That's the problem. A little too slow. Is anybody watching his top halls? Nope. Hook's going to get taken down. Splyce were just so slow on that.
It's like the timing could not have been worse with regards to the bait. Like as soon as you push up for it, LG's now here. 4 versus 4 now. John gets behind 1, 3v3. 30 seconds for them to try and work this plan or find the kills. They know they've got bomb down. I think he spotted it and picked up a SOG in the process. Challenged by 2, backs down from back window. Got the crosses Aqua, though Aqua can't finish the kill. They're both going to push him out. 3v2 edge now for Luminosity. Time dwindling. 1 versus 1. Temp versus Brack. Brack has been lights out. He's got bomb as cover. Snaps to his left. Temp gets burned. And Brack, once again from that position, gets the clutch. Props to Splyce for making that as wild as it was, considering the time allotted, the fact that bomb gets dropped early and man advantage to LG, but Brack is not missing a lot of bullets right now.
And I mean, Temp just has to challenge, right? Has to try to plant the bomb. Brack heads up play to get behind it, use it as cover. This great map too continues. But yeah, I mean, for Splyce, it's just, I feel like you see the players cross the fences. To me, that should mean there's multiple at A. There should only be 1, maybe 2 at B. Feel like you play that a little bit quicker.
Brack's got another chance to get streaks, by the way. He's 115 off as he's 11-1. He's going to be in a similar spot probably the last time he got streaks, where the rest of his team drops. Oh, I don't know what Skies just did to Temp, but Temp at top bar gets smoked, and yeah, it's Brack alone. Gets the plan. 15 off. Can't win the one-on-one. Fantastic shots from Hook to rip off his head and get the defuse. So no more streaks. Hook makes the play. It's Hook versus Brack right now statistically. I think he's like, I thought I had that fight.
Yeah, right.
He's like, any other player, I'm probably good.
Yeah, Hook hits him
just
with
beams him.
All headshots with that SOG.
We'll see it here. Yeah, he takes no damage. So he gets instantly challenged. Just, oh, nice. Yep, he just didn't miss, and he gets hit down. What was it, 19?
Yep.
I mean, Brack had nice shots too, but Hook just did not miss. All bullets directly to Brack's face. And dramatic music for the defuse.
It's a big round for Splyce, though. He keeps them in this game. That would have put LG up 5-2.
I was like half looking towards you because we were talking about something when I saw Temp got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
It looked like out of the corner of my eye, it looked bad.
I mean, he was behind the desk. Yeah. Skies wasn't. Skies was sprinting.
Yeah.
We've seen Temp with an ICR a lot in this. Maybe he had an ICR up there.
Ooh.
Almost. He had him down to 18.
Ooh. It's a close one. But John will live to see more of this round. First blood to LG. Tac 5 in from Brack. And they just challenge behind the Tac 5. Formal has been wall banged by 2 or 3 players from the Splyce end of things. But he managed to stay alive. Buys time for Brack then to push the opposite top hall. 1 player left, and it's Jared. 1v3. Bombs out in water. I don't know if you can plant it after it gets water in it.
I don't know. It is the future.
It's a waterproof bomb? Yeah, probably, I guess.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm an idiot. Skies kills Jared. 5th round now for LG. I rarely know what I'm talking about either, Joe, so it's okay.
I guess the big question is why do you have to take the suitcase to the bomb? Didn't you be able to, like, remotely?
You would think if it's the future, right, Joe? Wi-Fi's been destroyed. Like, we don't have Bluetooth. There was some worldwide EMP. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, Joe. Oh, it's a great question. It defies all reason. Not able to slide across, but he's getting hit by just about everybody. Skies gets the kill, though, before the stun hits. Slack backs one up into Shed. This should be the game. Aqua 1v4. Luminosity continue to just run through Splyce. 2-0 edge. They're just playing with so much confidence. Like, I feel like if there's a team on the other side of the stage that I'd be, like, not scared of, but, like, all right, they can match us toe-to-toe in skill. It'd be Splyce. But LG is just playing without abandon. It just feels like they are so confident running at him. But we're going to take a look at the scuff play of the game. It's going to be the final round as Splyce get picked to pieces and LG steamroll through them.
I mean, this is a hard counter from Splyce. They send 4 here, but it doesn't matter. As you said, just feels like LG on the same page. Their confidence is high. Heard Formal talk about it with Jess. He thought this was going to be a bit of a sloppy game. And I'll tell you what, from Luminosity, it has been the complete opposite of that.
No, that's what impressed me in the game one. It just, like I said at one point, like, there's always another guy. Like, it just felt like the teamwork and comms is very on point. I know frequency can be very hectic, but it seems like they're clicking. It seems like they're on the same page. Maybe something we didn't expect to see so quickly for either of these teams. Yes, we've seen a lot of sloppy play this week from a lot of the squads. They're trying to figure things out with these new rosters, trying to widen their map pools, but right now, within this best of 5, our final one on this Thursday night, it has been all LG just crushing Splyce. We were hoping for a riveting series, a hard-fought series. Thus far, we have not gotten that. LG dominating Splyce up 2-0. And I don't know. Is this sort of an example? I know it's a league play match. I know it's not the end of the world, but you said, I can't remember if it was Trading Shots or I was talking in the green room, but talking about Splyce, like there's so much pressure on them. You know, you get Hook, you finally have Temp and Hook. Like you feel like this is a team that can win. If they don't see success early, if they're not winning early, things could get scary.
I think what we're seeing is more of a team that has to continue to work hard and improve compared to a team that, I wouldn't say hitting a honeymoon period, but I just think the pieces that you put in here just make sense, right? Everybody's comfortable.
Here's a different way to word this. The community, when Hook came in, I think most people thought instantly Splyce is good. Like, they are going to be good. They got Hook. There's already a team that got second or third. Do you think that could be the mindset on some of these guys? It could be a problem. Like, they just thought they're going to be good.
Yeah, I don't see why not. And just sort of like, we can just win with talent now, right?
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, we have Temp and Hook. Like, we can do this. But I think we've talked about it time and time again. They have a great leader in Looney. I think it's just one of those things where it may take a little bit more time for them to figure out, which isn't a problem. We've seen that in the past.
I just decided that Brack's going to be the best man at my wedding.
What?
Dude, he's so good. He's so good.
So why would he be the best man at your wedding?
I have no idea, Joe.
Okay. All right.
Splyce looking to bring it back. They've got to do it through the control and then rip off 4 and 5 as well if they're going to get the reverse sweep. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listening with Splyce.
In the right corner.
Shit, we got
Matt weak.
I'm on a post.
19 hurt.
What's up, boss up? I'm inside post. Inside post.
19 hurt.
2 pillars on you.
I'm one top house. Start flanking, guys.
I got one. Sushi hurt. Yep. Sky's and Sushi.
Okay, no. Right there on the street. Yo, he's 3 car. One's 3 car.
I see if deep rushes you. Alright, we're on it. Yo, one guy's mid.
Sushi heading.
Oh, he rushed. Back alley here, John.
Really big mid.
I can't jump out.
White car.
Still there.
Bottom wood. 2.
Almost white car. He pushed up
I'm
mid.
coming right. I'm coming right.
Where's that there?
One guy was mid too.
One was mid, yeah.
One guy's bottom or top. He's in. Brack, one shot.
I struck a little weak.
Almost mid. Dead.
I struck a little weak, guys.
That's all
I'm on B.
Wait. I thought you said go front.
Oh, I'm talking to niggas off spawn. Yo, one guy's
He's already close. I'm starting this like
MB. Too close.
Deep.
Oh, I think there we saw physically and verbally the frustrations from Temp.
Yeah, no, I think that something's wrong. You're right. It could have been from scrims. Just
that's what I'm thinking. Like, because I get if you lost a match yesterday, but typically if you're a player, you can kind of brush off the day before. I think they got heated at each other, but something happened in scrims. They had to have. Just hearing that right there,
yeah.
Something happened. Somebody got into an argument. Someone's pissed off with the play that was made. I think it's him and Aqua, because if you saw right after that one map, Aqua was kind of talking to him. I think something happened between those two, a play where they bumped heads or something. I could be wrong, but it's kind of what it feels like. Well, something's off with Splyce.
You saw at the end of that listening, all of LG find kills, then just right there, LG completely take over this round. Now have a 12-5 lead. Splyce, one more chance. Have to be flawless from here. Temp's gonna start it, able to find one on a slack that'll allow them to get pushed up. Looney with another one with the ICR. Skies with some crispy shots.
I didn't think he was gonna finish him. He is just finishing everything. 3 are gonna get dropped by Skies. Slack and Brack get the final 2, and LG gets the round 1 victory, where it looked like maybe Splyce was in a good spot, but we know how defensively favored this map can be at times.
I think another good thing for Luminosity, like while we're talking about it, is like after Dallas, like we just watched, and just like they had no idea how to play the game, right? Like they just looked lost. And I think picking up 2 guys in Brack and Skies, maybe not having the most success, but you remember Brack was on that midnight team. It just felt like his team figured it out. Their teamwork was on point. You know, Skies might have a different point of view. I think he absolutely helps in Search and Destroy. I think it's just 2 guys who really understand this game down to a T. That is like, hey, we're like, you guys are doing this wrong. Like,
I'd be curious, actually. I kind of want to talk to them and just see like, what that was like, that conversation, just about the fundamentals.
Yeah.
The core of how to play the game. How that went down once the team formed. That's a good point. 3 stack for LG onto A. And one listening, you heard frustration abound from Splyce, specifically Temp frustrated with his team's play right now. curious to see what it's like on the LG end of things. Let's go to Astro Gaming. Listen to him. Luminosity.
I'm backing up. I'm
Team
backing
shot
up.
right, team shot right.
Tyler's blue van.
Start getting house control. I'm going to help you,
Tyler's
blue
blue
van.
van.
Right side dead. Nice.
On the tree, on the tree, on the tree.
Last over there. Last over there.
Last guy.
Yeah, push through. We need to push you
We
quick.
need that one shot. Absolute back square. We gotta kill this guy back square. Kill this guy.
Yo, right side under highway.
Guys, go get our base control.
Under highway, under highway.
JB.
Looney out on
I'm
ice
backing
area.
up. One's gonna be on you.
He's deep red tree again.
Yo, bottom,
Deep red tree, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yes, guys, he is.
One jump.
Alright, get our base control. And then we'll
Yeah, middle. There's two middle.
Alright,
I think he's Huke and Dirt.
Stay alive, middle. Stay alive. Stay
Close
alive.
right.
Middle. Close right.
Absolute
I'm going right. I'm going right.
Tyler's one shot left too.
Yo, we can team shot front. I'm about to get a Tempest and 1 kill.
Mikey, right, dead. I got Donnie.
Nice, JB.
It was 2 mid.
We can start working front. Start working front.
Yeah, right
Start working front, guys. Start working front. Give up mid. He's fully stunned
Nothing on
middle.
the point. I'm
Good,
going.
18, 18.
18 and on the pillar.
18, I'm one dead.
Look 18, look 18. I have 18.
Holding our bench.
18 Mooney.
Oh, he jumped out. Nice.
Middle, Jerd's mid. Jerd's mid.
Jerd's
mid.
mid.
2-life advantage for Splyce. LG still trying to make the play into the point. It's going to be Brack once again with an incredible, delightful, delicious gunfight victory. Now playing from pillar as the first bit of progress through. They backed up Splyce for now, but here comes the next wave through. Timp able to drop Brack. Formal and Sushi, at least for a moment, making sure the time doesn't continue to tick. You're down 4 lives. Nice shots from John at long range there with the saw, but the good thing is you stopped the clock for so long. You still have this big portion to work with, but you really need to bring the lives back.
One thing I noticed as well, has Temps on his 3 spree, he's actually done it with the Maddox, and a couple of times we've hopped to his point of view. He's had the ICR, and we had this discussion with Optic Gaming. When you're playing a map like this, do you want to put Dashy on an ICR? I certainly don't, right? I think it's the same conversation with Temp, where you can see maybe Looney can flex to a little bit more, find it on the ground. Because a lot of the times you do see 2 ICRs, so maybe just limits Temp a little bit. You know, having
he doesn't have the playmaking ability.
Yeah.
Okay, you can shut down a lane,
Just
but like
the movement.
Exactly. Like you can make those highlight 3-piece, 4-piece plays to the Maddox that certainly more difficult with the ICR. 4 going to drop now for Splyce. There's only 6 left for LG. The pinch from Slack could be huge. 2 are going to drop. They're into the point. Snaps onto the third almost able to shut down Jerd. Now they get the second bit of progress. Informal's got it locked down at range with an ICR.
That's it.
2 are going to push up. They should be done. Time ticking in, and LG in a 6v11. Get the offensive round and likely put this series to bed.
I think the big kill was Jerd in boxes, because Jerd was able to find Slats. He was able to get that kill, but he was the point man for Splyce. So as soon as he gets pre-fired down by Formal, he can't contest that point. And then the players off spawn for Splyce, we saw it. They were stunned. They got stunned. They didn't have time. It was a 4-stack from LG. And just you can't go down 3 or 4 with no trades, with 0 trades.
And I thought when Slack grappled in, like they were going to hear that and react to it and pick up post, but he just grapples in and gets 2 free kills at
those
pillar.
players already like pushed up at pillar. Even if they are looking at him, they're probably going to get taken down from the point.
It's true. It's true. I mean, it just looks so easy. Nice pinch from Slack. That's an example of how the grapple can make a play, just closing those gaps, getting you there with a nice timing. It's not always about that pairing with the grab slam. More often than not, just getting in a position to make a play. Skies just barely gets away with his life. Tempest can't hit the shot. So that's a quick and early cap for Splyce, but now they got to do the hard part over towards B. They call him War Machine, they call him Tempest. This is Luminosity is trying to get a big life advantage, but Formal and Skies, your 2 heavy hitter specialists, haven't connected on anything. Now finally Skies able to hit a shot, gets 1 kill. Do they come out of this with any kind of advantage? No, I mean, they're down 4.
Yeah, now they have, well, I thought Temp was going to be able to get to that B side, but they do find 3 kills, Formal and Brack. Now Brack in an interesting spot, right? 275 off streaks on a 3 spree. Probably got a lot of the points from capturing the last zone.
Yeah, I mean, you get 2 streaks, you can really just make sure this round's yours.
Looney having a big game for Splyce at 16-9, but it's Aqua who's struggling. And, you know, we heard in that listening sort of the arguments, and maybe Temp can handle that in a different way, but maybe it's frustrating for Aqua, right?
Could be. Just got in his head a little bit frustrated.
Splyce do move on up. You have Aqua on the car.
The slide in from Brack right before the first point's going to come through. Can't play for the streaks, has to get involved. Slack going huge now. 3 going to be down for Splyce.
That trophy has ate all of the nades from the War Machine plus a stun. Somehow Jerd was still able to find 2. No one must have had an engineer on, but a big trophy placement from Luminosity. Well, Hook not going to find anything but that trophy, so he takes down that big opponent.
He hurt you. It's a big trophy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was. But now you have Slack with the 3. So he's able to stop that push and find the 4th as well. Nice snap on the Looney.
Yeah, one grab slam gets a trophy. The other gets a car and 3 players.
It's a big difference.
It certainly is.
And we've had 2 moments for Splyce within their offensive rounds where there's just been huge swings. Even last round, right? Like, Splyce has been in it, and then all of a sudden they've gone 5 or 6 down in a row where it's been all LG in a kill feed, and that's just changed the momentum of the round.
Round 1 and 3, yeah, just these big focal moments where things fall apart for Splyce. Slack now. 200 off streaks, a 5 spree. Streaks might not matter in this. We'll see if Jerd can make a play with the Tempest. He's going to get stunned. Can't hit the shot. Knocked to 38. The slide across from John. He gets the kill as the Tempest connects. But the big part, he'll be able to get back up. Now Slack just trying to do some damage for the streaks. But with 6 lives left, not sure it matters. There's the streak. Can't quite close it out. 2 drop for Luminosity, but Skies is still down here, is peppering shots into everybody. They stopped the clock for now, at least with 26.7 left. No respawns left for Splyce. 3 players left, 1 player left. Temp, buddy, it's all on you. They go soaring at him, and Luminosity. A 3-0 in the control, where we don't see a lot of 3-0s on Gridlock, and a 3-0 in the series. They just ripped through Splyce.
I'll tell you what, if you would have told me that was going to be the fastest series of the day, I thought you were lying. But
no, I thought that was going to be our best series of the day without question. I mean, that's why it's last, right? And that was not at all.
No, I don't know, because, again, we talked about it. I just don't know if frustrations carried over from practice into this match from Splyce, but just felt like something was off from them. But you can't take it away from LG. I mean, Brack and the boys just absolutely dominated from the start.
It's a league match. But LG are looking so good.
Saying, yeah, it is.
Because you shouldn't have won trading shots, Pac-Man, you little bald weasel. That was mine.
Are you a big bald weasel?
Hi. I was sorry. He's right back there. I was yelling at him. Yeah, I guess we're both super bald. But wow, they look so good. I guess I'm just curious. Like, I'm not convinced this can be some championship team yet. But if they keep playing like this, who the hell knows what the ceiling is going to be for LG?
It's a good week for LG.
Yeah. But now we'll get it back over to this. Katie, take it away. And Pac-Man, I hate you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for those lovely parting words there, Maven. And wow, that was, I mean, faster than 100T and UIU. And
record speed.
That's something
Temp
I didn't expect.
Looked pissed.
Temp didn't have a good series.
He did not play well. I mean, none of them really did.
Yeah.
Hook maybe. But before the series, we were saying Yuli was playing, or Aqua was playing really well, and he was, to his credit. He did not play well, not at all.
He went up against Skies and Fomo on that map, and he was like 5 and 15.
I mean, just we were talking about in the back, like on that map, it felt like there was just no AR opposition for Luminosity. Like everywhere they went, this player was just able to wreak havoc with an AR. Like you see Formo and Showers just picking up kill after kill with no
easy.
Nobody shooting back at him. You see him mid-map just pinning players down behind the bus, and then you see players on B Street, like Skies at the 18, just picking up kills left and right. Players trapped behind walls. It just the AR strength on the side of Splyce was no match for Luminosity on that Gridlock.
To go on to what Nameless said earlier before the segment was, imagine this team. We understand Fomo, Brack, and Skies. They're able to put up those numbers. But just imagine if Slack and John are able to be consistent even more. And the way that they play that first map, Slack was going absolutely off. Started off the map 8-2. Ended the map, I'm pretty sure, +8. But just overall, the entire team, if that's what I was saying, if they're just able to, for everyone to just be slaying and just be picking up when they need to, that's what's going to make this team scary, because it's going to be really hard to keep up with them in every single category when it comes to roles.
I mean, look at the improvement that they made after they played 100 Thieves. Like, they play the best team in the game, and they're like, okay, this is exactly what we need to fix. They come in the next day, and they're like, okay, we're nasty now. Like, we're able to just pick up on the mistakes we made and, you know, iron those out. And they play Splyce, a team that's looked pretty solid this week. And they make them look like amateurs. That was bad.
They did, but do you think they're that much better than Splyce? Because I definitely
I don't think
I feel like Splyce came out and played just a horrendous series. They came out so flat today. They're off, like, just right off the rip. Their first push.
That's not what we know they can do.
No, of course not. Temp didn't have a good series. The only one of them that did was Hook. Like, this just didn't look like a very good team. This looked like forms are reminiscent of their old version of their team that just wasn't very strong. Like, this is a beatdown. And I guess if you're going to get beat down, this is a good place to do it rather than at Miami, like in the playoff bracket. But that was really bad for them.
Now, we need to talk about Astro MVP speculation. He has done so much for his team since
The birthday
he joined. The birthday boy, Priesta from 100 Thieves, absolutely deserves it. Really an integral part in turning this team around and helping them get their back-to-backs.
I mean,
He has to see the boss, so they sent P, dog.
Yup.
He's entering today like crazy, like popping like, huge 2 pieces, very impactful on the map, while leading his team in damage and stuff for today. Like, he had an incredible 3 maps. UIU just handing out wins and MVPs all over the place.
And I mean, he's consistently so good for this team.
He runs an extremely difficult role too, the grapple role, and he's so fast, but like he's, to me, clearly what other grapple players should all strive to be. He's so annoying and hard to kill. He's a really great player.
The fact that he's went through every single role in this game, and he's been a superior in every single role, is insane. The kid is an absolute glitch. I think we got to put him in that glitch category because you ran every single role.
But that's a good point Study has.
Phase as with ICR.
With the ICR, he was carrying phase.
Next day, he was
We've
carrying
talked about this. We've talked about this. That point that he's making before.
Damn.
Is that he's run every role.
And he switched his song, and he's still carrying him.
Yeah.
Picked up the Mad Eye.
Pulled out grapple and was like, I'm still getting.
It don't matter. It don't matter with P-Dog.
This is a glitch. We can throw him in there.
I think so.
Is there anyone else you've seen so far that's done that, who's just excelled like
Every single
everywhere?
role?
Yeah.
Yeah, and History of
Karma.
COD, Crim6 has done it.
Karma.
In this game?
Oh,
Nah.
Old Pat, not this new version, but the old Pat.
Old Pat used to be able to do it all
He
too.
switched all the time. He was godlike at every role.
in this game, I don't think there's players really run every Zeros ran every role. He's been pretty good. But yeah, we haven't seen too many players run every single role. 'Cause that's a problem if you have to do that. On
Yeah.
All right, let's look at our PlayStation damaged out leaderboard. Will Temp remain
No
at
way.
the top? Oh, yes, he is. Followed by Attach, though, Formal, and Slasher. With Wee Man still sitting up there close in 5th.
Oh, accuracy's on here? What the? I'm not. No shade. I just
Unexpected.
unexpectedly on the damage
that?
leaderboard. Look at my
Slasher,
man,
Formal,
Lamar.
Attach make a lot of sense. Temp, I still
Formal,
put
Bracken, Skies. That's
Wee Man.
the 3 musketeers on the side of LG.
Wee Man had a great game 5 earlier. That's going off. He was like 10-4, picked up a streak.
Yeah, I think that also speaks to how good Temp is. That maybe he doesn't have the best series or whatever. He's still gonna be at the
He's a
top of that
mainstay.
team.
It's his
way
leaderboard.
too.
Yeah.
He was way
It is.
too high,
It is
but-
Temp's damaged out leaderboard
It's
at
his
this point.
leaderboard, and then other people just try to catch up to him on there. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's look now at our standings. Week 1 of 2 weeks across division done. You can see it there, how things are starting to settle in. FaZe sitting there in 3rd Division A, of course. 100T still in 2nd, looking to maybe beat out E United, but that'll depend on how they do next
I was
week.
Splyce 11-11 with 51.7% win. Map win percentage. Okay, never mind.
Thank you for the whispering in our ears to make sense of that. All right, there it is. Our schedule for Monday, the 2nd week. You can see it starting with Elevate and Midnight. But you know what? That is going to be it for us right now. This week has come to a close. The first half of Cross Division is done. We are starting to get a sense of who Roster Mania helped and who it did not. Units started off by 3-2ing FaZe to end their week 2-2, while Enigma 6 took down Evil Geniuses in a very close matchup. 100 Thieves and UIU wasn't even close, with 100T walloping their opponent, and LG versus Splyce was not close either, with LG coming out on top. You know what? Again, that's going to be enough from us. We will see you next week with more Pro League.